Hello, hello. Just getting everything set up here. All right, hold. Okay, how's everyone doing today? Go ahead and post in the chat box how everyone's feeling. So let's see here. Just getting everything set up. Okay. Sorry, I'm doing some recording on multiple streams. So that's what's going on for this masterclass today. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So thank you for being here today. Thank you for being here for this masterclass on how to create a vision and direction for a meaningful and happy life. So when it comes to creating a meaningful and happy life, there are so many different aspects that come into play. And for today, we are going to dive into 3 steps that are going to help you with this. So yes, if you see me look down, I have notes because I want to make sure that you guys get the most out of today. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So for those of you who maybe aren't super familiar with me, my name's Amanda, and I am a professional life coach and speaker. So I have gotten the beautiful opportunity to work with private coaching clients in over 15 different countries, so hundreds of people through that, which I love. And then I've also got the opportunity to speak at Fortune 500 companies like Target and some other universities where I work with their students and their faculty so that they can create a life that they thrive in. So a lot of different spaces that I'm in, and one thing that always comes up in some way, shape, or form is creating a vision that makes you happy, a vision that makes you feel like you're living a meaningful life, fulfilled, and all of that good stuff. So for today, that's what we're diving into. We're diving into creating that vision. So go ahead and make sure you have something to write with, because we are going to be doing a lot of actionable work today, because that is where you get the goods from. That's where you create change from. That's where you create a life that you love and happiness in that life. So with that, go ahead and make sure you go grab something. If you're listening to the audio of this, not live, at a later date, maybe you're driving or whatever it might be, obviously you won't be able to write anything down as we go through this. So make sure that you can save it and you can do the exercises at a later time. So before we get started, really get started into it, I want to have us set the intention for today. So what made you choose to be here today? Why did you want to be here? What made you want to set this time aside when there's a whole lot going on? There's a lot of overwhelm. There's a lot of other things you could choose to do on your to-do list. So what made you want to be here today? And set that intention for why you want to create a meaningful life and more happiness through understanding with pure clarity what your vision is. So go ahead and take a minute and write that down. Okay, so as you continue writing, we're going to keep going through this because I want to make sure we get through everything for you guys today. So as we go through this 3-step process, I'm going to take you guys through. Why is it important in the first place? Why does it even matter if you have a vision for your life or if you are happy? Why does that matter? So first of all, if you want to be happy, you have to know what creates that sense of happiness. So why do you need a blueprint? Why do you need a vision? You got to be able to understand at a deeper level where that happiness and where that confidence comes from. So when it comes to your experience with real happiness, I like to break it down into kind of like a formula. So think about it. Happiness is created when your life conditions equal your blueprint or your vision for your life. So you will feel a sense of happiness when your life conditions where you are at today align with and equal that blueprint, that vision for your life. So a couple things have to happen here, right? You have to understand what that blueprint is for your life. You have to know what that vision is for your life. Otherwise, you'll never know if your life conditions equal that. And then you'll be stuck in the sense of feeling lost, feeling overwhelmed, feeling stressed, feeling like you just don't know what to do next when you don't have something you're looking for. So think about it for a minute, like you're going on a road trip. So when you go on a road trip, you need a destination of where you're going to get to, and you need a map. You need a plan about how you will get there. So while you might get there, without the plan, but it's going to take a whole lot longer. And it's going to be quite the crazy road. So if you don't know where you're going and how you want to feel on that journey throughout that vision, you'll feel that sense of loss. I said, you'll feel like you don't have a purpose. You will not be engaged. And honestly, it's going to be a really sucky feeling. Trust me, I've been there. So you want to have that target. You want to have that blueprint so you know what you're aiming towards. So that's number one reason why that's really important. But then we also have to understand those life conditions. Where are you at right now in your life? So if your happiness equals your life conditions aligning with your blueprint or your vision for your life, well, if that's not currently the case, so if you feel like you are so not happy because those two things don't match up, they aren't equal, they aren't perfectly aligning, you have two options. You can change your life conditions, so you can do something to change where you're at right now to get to that blueprint, or you can change your blueprint. You can change that vision that you have for your life. So you have two options that you get to choose. So first of all, think about that as we go through this. Do you have a really clear blueprint? My gut tells me that if you're watching this, maybe you don't, and that's okay. That's why you're here. So we're going to focus more on that blueprint side of things. We're going to focus on getting really clear, maybe changing it up, maybe realizing, oh, I thought I wanted this, but I don't actually want that. And that's okay. So as we dive into this, and when you know why it's really important to have that target, to know what creates happiness, what creates a level of real happiness, it's not everything, but it's a really great starting point. So now that you know that that's important, it's all about creating that vision for your life. And this is where you're going to start doing a lot of writing. So like I said, you set your intention for this time. Today, you got to grab your favorite pen, grab your notebook, grab something to write with, because you won't actually get anything out of this masterclass if you don't do the work. So I just really want to encourage you to make sure you either pause this so you can have more time to work on some of these questions that I'm going to ask you, or that you revisit it, that you come back to it, that you grab the replay of this so that you can set aside intentional time to really dive in and do the work, because otherwise it's just going to be wasting this time of your day if you don't take action with it. So the first part, well, first of all, I'll share with you. So the 3-step process for creating your blueprint, it's all about exploring, creating, and envisioning. So we're going to go through each one of these in details and what that looks like. So like I said, if you want to fully get something out of this and have a meaningful impact, you have to fully participate. Okay? And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you'll have a lot of great ahas when you do this work. So the first part of exploring, this is what we're diving into. So think about, and this might be a little sad for some people won't be as affected by it, but think about it as it's your last day. So it's not even your last day, it's your funeral. So it's the last day that your physical body, I guess, is on the earth. And as people come to your funeral, think about when they come to that visitation, what do you want people to say about you? What do you want people to say about how you made them feel? You know, when it's after the funeral and your loved ones and your family and friends are all talking about you and talking about what they remembered about you, go ahead and close your eyes for a minute. Just close your eyes, unless you're driving and listening to the audio, don't close your eyes then. But close your eyes and really envision what you want those people to say about you. What impact did you want to have for the people that you love? What legacy do you want to leave? How do you want people to feel? So really, really think about that and keep your eyes closed as you're thinking about, you know, things, of stories that people share about you. Think about the moments that they remember about you. What's meaningful about what people say about you? Or what you wish people would say about you. You can think about that too. How do you want to leave this world a better place? What does that look like for you? So go ahead and take a minute to write down, just jot down any thoughts that you had. So any words, any phrases, any thoughts that just came up as you're thinking about that. Give you a minute to do that. Okay, and if you need more time, like I said, make sure you get the replay of this so that you can take that time to pause it and come back, because it's really important that you fully answer that question, that you fully think about it. And it's okay if the tears come. I have had many private coaching clients that have had the tears come when they start thinking about that question and when they start saying it out loud on what they want their legacy to be, what they want people to say about them. And it really has this tender and heartfelt moment of realizing what really matters for you. So that's all about the exploring. So you got to explore what the meaningful part of your life vision is and get really clear on that and just feel that. And then the second part is the creating part of this. So knowing that you want to make an impact and how you want to make that. Now let's get to a vision that supports that impact. So what vision do you have that supports it? So again, with your pen, with your piece of paper, go ahead and write down some thoughts around 10 years from now. So let's do some journaling. So journaling leads to a lot of great answers in your life. It is something that I support fully with clients totally utilizing this. So let's journal a little bit and write down 10 years from now. Let's start envisioning this. What age would you be 10 years from now? So a decade from now, what age would you be? And we're going to create your 10-year vision. So write down right at the top of your paper just what age you would be. Would you be 35, 45, 55, 65? What's your age? Going to be 75, 85, who's ever watching and listening today. And then where do you want to live? You know, start dreaming about it. Close your eyes for a minute and just listen to these questions. So think about what age you would be 10 years from now. Where do you want to live? What people do you want to have in your life that play a meaningful role in your life? What do you want to be doing? What do you want to be experiencing? Do you want to travel somewhere? Do you have some sort of work that is pulling on your heart to put into this world? Are there moments that you want to be spending with people? What does your day-to-day look like 10 years from now? What does your lifestyle feel like 10 years from now? So really think about 10 years from now, ideally, I want to wake up in the morning. I want to do X, Y, and Z. In the afternoons, I want that to be for this part of my life. And then in the evenings, I'm going to be spending time either by myself, I'm going to spend more time reading, more personal growth, or I'm going to spend time outside, or I'm going to spend time with the people that really matter. Maybe it's a combination. And just get really clear about how you want to spend that time. So if you don't have enough time to write it out right now, like I said, revisit this. So 10 years from now, just write down any thoughts. It can just be statements. It can be words that come to mind. It can be people that come to mind. Anything is okay. There's no judgment here. So no self-judgment on how you go about this, but it's just getting an idea here. Now, the next part of the create phase is understanding that anything is possible. As you go through this, as you create your vision, you have to have a belief that anything is possible, because the only limits you have are the limits you put on yourself. It's all about progress, not perfection. Everything in life was impossible until someone did it. So going to the moon, people thought that was impossible until someone did it. And, electricity, how we have light, people thought that was impossible until it happened. So many things in life seem impossible until someone does it. So that thing that seems impossible for you today, it's only impossible until you do it. And you can do it. And the only limit you have are the limits you put on yourself. So remember that as we go through this, that the choice is always yours on what vision you want. And you can have any vision that you want. It's not about saying, oh, I'm not worthy enough for that vision, or I could never do that. No, this is your safe space. This is your time to dream, to believe, to see what you really want in your life and how you want to feel. So as we keep going through this create phase, so then you're going to have to think about a little bit on taking stock of where you currently are. So where are you at in your life today? That makes a huge difference. I'm just going to grab this. So for those of you that can actually see this and not just listening to the audio, we're going to go through this wheel of life. So this is a wheel of life to help you take stock of where you are. So I'm going to guide you through it. So if you're listening to the audio, just listen as I guide you through this. So basically this wheel of life tells you where you're at in certain areas. So within each category, you're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. So 10 is, I feel really awesome in this area, and a 1 is, this totally sucks. I need something to change. So I'm going to read the different categories to you, and I want you to put a number down by how you would rate your current life as it is today, not the vision you just made, but as your life is today. So when you think about your career, where would you rate that? Is that at a 5? Is it at an 8? Where does that fall? How about your family, your relationships with your family, whether it's your very internal unit, maybe you've got some kids and a spouse, maybe it's siblings or parents or whoever it might be, but your family, where would you rate that? And then your friendships, where would you rate how you feel around friendships? And then you've got romance, your significant other, that relationship, or dating, if you want to be in a relationship. How would you rate that area of your life on a scale of 1 to 10? And then how much fun are you having? Fun, recreation, experiencing different things. Where would you rate that right now on a scale of 1 to 10? And then how about your physical health? Where is that at? And also your mental health, because those are two very different things. So give each of those a number and just use the first number that comes to mind. So just your gut reaction here. And then your finances. How do you feel financially? Where's your financial health at? And then personal growth. Where do you feel around your personal growth? And the last one, your physical environment or your home. Think of it like that. So the space where you spend a lot of time, where would you rate that at right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, with a 10 being everything's great, it's awesome, off the charts, and a 1 being this is miserable, I can't handle it anymore, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So if you guys want a copy of this Wheel of Life tool, You can grab it in the description below. So there is a link where you can grab it for free below. So if you want to actually go through the process on the wheel, that would really help. Just about getting a clear understanding and seeing how out of balance that wheel is. So for instance, if I had on this wheel, if I was all up and down with ones and tens and ones and fours and fives, that would be a really weird shaped wheel, right? And imagine if that was a wheel on your car. You wouldn't be getting anywhere fast with a wheel that was so unstable like that, right? So it's not about having all tens. It's not about having all ones. It's about how do you find a healthy balance or rhythm is what I like to call it to your life so that you can have a smoother ride on your journey towards that, on that vision of what you want for your life. So you got really clear and you took some stock of where you're at right now. You've got this vision that you created right before we did this. Now, how do you close that gap? So you might be your current life conditions where you just took stock of, might be way over here. And your like vision of where you want to be in 10 years could be like way over here. And that's okay. But now we got to close that gap so that they are in alignment with each other. So if you really want that vision, how are we going to get there? How are you going to get there? What does that look like? What needs to change in your life? So take some time to think about, write down what things need to change on your wheel of life to get you to where that vision is. So make a list of some of the things that need to change. Make a list of things that would make a big impact if they changed. And think about, is it worth it? Is that vision worth it? What are you willing to do to take where you're at today to get to that vision that you have for your life? Okay, so now let's go back to that vision and let's think about what you created, and we're going to think about that language behind that vision, because the laws of attraction are so powerful and we need to really frame it in words that we believe, in words that feel good, and having that underlying belief that this can happen. This is possible for me. So I want you to write down again, grab your favorite pen, grab that notebook, and write down the following prompt. So in 10 years, I am. So it's in 10 years, I am. And you've maybe heard this before, but I am are two of the most powerful words you'll ever use. Anything that follows I am is magnetic. It is so powerful. So write down in 10 years, I am, and then fill in the blank there. So I am feeling. How are you feeling? Write it down. What I am doing. What are you doing? I am being. Who are you being in 10 years? I am engaging with. Who are you engaging with? I am experiencing. What do you want to experience in 10 years? And then back to that, I am feeling. How are you feeling in 10 years? Who are you being? So when you take your vision and then add some of this around it, create it into the I am so that it really comes to life in terms of how you experience your vision. Because it's all about putting it into the present so that you can get a really juicy feeling around it and just really have that energy behind it. Yeah, I am doing this and I am feeling this, because that is what gets you some of that momentum too when you view it and believe it in that set of language. So I would encourage you to look up more about the laws of attraction. It's really powerful information. We aren't going to get into any more of the details here, but that little piece of I am are two of the most powerful words. So that is the last part of the create phase. So we did the explore, the meaningful side of things. We did the create. And like I said, you're going to probably need more time to go through this. So take a minute now and schedule more time for you to go through this, whether it's on your own or with the replay and the audio, but find more time. Okay. So schedule that in your calendar right now. And then now we're going to go into the envisioning phase of this. So now that you know your vision, it's time to dive into it a little bit deeper. It's time to dive into how you want to feel each day when you're living out your vision. So bringing it to life. How do you want to feel each day? So there is a really great book. I don't actually have it right over here, but I was going to show it to you. It is the Desire Map. And the book is by Danielle Laporte. She's incredible. And what she talks about in this book is how you want to feel each day. You have the power to control how you feel each day. It's about setting your intentions. It's your core desired feeling. So behind every goal or everything that you want to do, there's ultimately a feeling that you want to have from that. You can trace back every single goal that you have, everything that you want in your life, down to how you want to feel. So if you focus first on that feeling that you want to have, and then create that avenue of, that vehicle of how you're going to get there, that changes everything. Because you might think, oh, I have to do X, Y, and Z to feel this way or to get this. But then when you realize that's not actually the feeling I want, that changes everything. And when you start to understand that you want to experience these feelings on this journey, not when you get to a destination. Life is not a destination, it's a journey. So it's about experiencing the feelings you want to feel now. So I highly encourage you to check out that book. It's a great resource, Danielle Laporte's The Desire Map. So when you think about that vision, go back to it, and I want you to read it out loud right now. So read out your vision, or read your vision out loud right now. So from the in 10 years I am, so reading that part out loud. And then write down the words that come to mind of how you feel after you say it out loud. Some of you might cry, and that's okay. That's happened before. Some of you might feel really excited. Some of you might feel like, oh my goodness, there are so many things I want to do. And even though there may be that sense of that's a lot, there's still a part that really, really engages you and gives you the momentum to want to do it, because you'll feel happy. You'll feel happier. Having that clarity, you'll feel deeper sense of fulfillment when you get clear on that vision. So when you think about your vision, just remember that you have the power to do anything that you want in your life. And like I said before, everything was impossible until someone did it. So you can do whatever you're writing down today. So the next part, so we did the envision part, we did the create part, we did the whole part around exploring. So now if we go into, okay, so I've got this vision, now what do I do with it, right? So it's time to implement the vision. So when it comes to implementing the vision, I want you to think about what can you do in the next 90 days that would make a huge difference for you. What's 1, 2, or 3 things at most? 3 things at most that you can do in the next 90 days that would make a huge difference for you. So what are the 3 things you can do? So think about that life vision. What 3 things that would bring you closer to it? And I know right now you might feel a sense of stress, or you might feel really overwhelmed. And maybe you're thinking, oh, I'll start this in July, or I'll put this on the back burner, start in August, or maybe I'll wait till September, because doing something in the fall, starting something really feels good because it's a new season, and you make all these excuses. Stop it. Stop making excuses. It's not that stress will ever go away. It's not that overwhelm will ever go away. It's all about how you manage it. And you cannot put your life on hold because you feel a sense of stress, because work is overwhelming you, because a relationship is making you really frustrated, because you're not able to do all the things that you want to do right now. Whatever it is, you can't let stress stop you. There's never going to be a good time. I'm going to repeat that. There is never going to be a good time. You will always find excuses, so you just have to begin today. You just have to start today. There's never going to be that perfect time. You're always going to find something that, tries to sabotage it, and you just have to start today because you don't want to feel lost anymore. You don't want to feel unfulfilled. You don't want to stay unhappy. Your life is worth it. You are worth it. So start today. And when you think about the things that you want to do, it's about taking one step a day and gaining more clarity. And with each one of those steps that you take towards those 3 things that you are going to do in the next 90 days, every one step will give you a greater sense of confidence, a greater sense of clarity in the direction you're going. So that's what you have to remember. It's not this tomorrow you're going to feel incredibly different. It's about the consistent progress. You have to be consistent. So you might be wondering, as you are thinking about your life vision and everything, well, how do I know, or how do I stay on track with it? It feels really good today. It maybe will feel really good this week, but how do I stay on track when stress and your inner critic gets in the way and so many other things, right? Find an accountability buddy, a mentor, hire a coach. That's what a lot of my private coaching clients use me for, is to hold them accountable, because they know that they need that support to follow through on what matters most, and it's worth it. So find that accountability partner, write down their name, whoever that is. If you know of a coach, hire a coach who's a mentor that you can use for that accountability, but get some accountability to stay on track. The other thing that really makes a difference is, how do you know that as you're going on this vision, as you're pursuing this path, how do you know that you're on the right path for you? That's a question that comes up a lot. So how do you know that you're on the right path for you? Maybe you think, oh, this vision sounds great, but how do I know that it's the right path? Or how do I know that this is what's meant for me? Here's the thing. When you are on the right path, you are not betraying yourself. So let me repeat that. When you're on the right path, you're not betraying yourself. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by betraying yourself? You are betraying yourself when you are not doing things that align with your purpose and your values. So those 2 things. So if you do something or pursue, let's pursue a job where someone makes you compromise who you are at that job, or that company makes you compromise and not live out your purpose, then you know you're on the wrong path. Then if you can't fully live out your values, then you know you're on the wrong path. So make sure that you know your values and you know your purpose. And when you know those and live in alignment with those, you'll always be on the right path for you. All right. So that's a lot of information thrown at you really quickly. And so we're going to close it out with that. If you have any questions, you can type it in the chat box at any time. But that is your masterclass on how to create a vision for a meaningful and fulfilled life that makes you happy. So go back and spend more time doing the work on what we covered. If you wanted that Wheel of Life tool that I shared with you, if you're listening to the audio, you may not have seen it, but you can grab that link below and get the free tool there. The other piece is, I just really want to honor you for taking the time out of your day today to show up and be present, to fully be here and to do the work. And I want to acknowledge you for your desire to pursue a more fulfilling life and a meaningful life that leaves you feeling a deeper sense of happiness than you did before. It's worth it. And what you're doing today is worth it. And the time that you put into diving into this deeper, it's worth it. You're taking one step today in the right direction. And if you need help with this, diving into this further, and you want some accountability around this, to make it happen, then you've got to join us in this awesome community that we have going on right now. Jumpstart Your Life. So I've already got women in there, but the program doesn't officially launch until June 30th. So Jumpstart Your Life is this 30-day coaching program. And it's got this beautiful community of women. It's a really intimate group. So there aren't a lot of spots in there, but if you join us today, you'll get a bonus one-on-one private coaching session with me. So you can grab that. When you grab that in the next 48 hours, so it's just in the next 48 hours, the link is below this to join us and Jumpstart Your Life. But you guys, it's 4 weeks. You go through your purpose and implementing your vision that we talked about today. We go through creating those habits and resources. We also go through those goals that you need to create that change to jumpstart your life. We've got accountability in the group. We've got a whole week on getting into your inner critic and how she tells you, oh, you're not good enough, or you'll never be able to do that, or no one loves you. Like all of those lies that we tell ourselves, we dive into getting rid of that voice and acknowledging it and understanding when it shows up and how to still live your life on purpose when that shows up. So Jumpstart Your Life, it's 30 days and it starts June 30th. It's only, the investment in yourself is only $49. So that's less than $1.65 a day. Pretty sure it's affordable to anyone. And that's exactly what my intention was behind it, because I wanted everyone to be able to experience coaching in a way that feels good to them. So this beautiful program, it helps you live on purpose, and it helps you step in fully and let your light shine with the world, which is exactly what we're meant to do here. So with that, I'm just gonna, I see there's a question in the chat box, so I just want to take a minute to answer it. It looks like, do you have any resources for overcoming obstacles and helping with implementation? Jumpstart Your Life absolutely helps with that. But it says, especially for moms who have kid responsibilities, there's a lack of time and energy. I get that. I totally get that. You know, it's like, I always tell clients that with your cell phone, you would never let your cell phone get to battery 0%. So why do you let yourself get that way? You know, why do we not take time to fill ourselves up, to give ourselves the energy, because we're busy taking care of kids or taking care of other people that are really important to us? So you've got to fill up yourself first, number one. And there's always time. There's always time. That is something that is the biggest excuse that comes up. But there's always time. If you truly look at your day, maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's doing some multitasking with some other things in order to make 30 minutes for yourself. I get it time and time again where people say, I don't have 30 minutes to myself. You do. You do. When you look at your schedule, when you look at your day, you do. And it's about you setting boundaries so that you get that time so you can fill yourself up, so you can be the best version of yourself for the people around you. So when it comes to overcoming some of those obstacles and helping with implementation, you got to have regular check-ins. Accountability is huge for it. So you got to visit your vision every day. Start off your day getting clear on your vision, and that will help tremendously with staying in alignment with it and doing things throughout your day that support that and that feel good to you. So those are a couple things, and there are more things that we go through and Jumpstart Your Life of how you can do that. But just know that you're not alone, that the lack of time and energy, especially for moms, is huge. And I hear that a lot, and you're not alone. And the beautiful part is you don't have to stay there, because I have so many moms that haven't stayed there. It's possible for you to get out of that hamster wheel of just go, 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 right? So if there aren't any other questions here, enjoy your day. I honor you. I acknowledge you. I see you. I hear you. If you guys have questions, let me know. You can visit amandabeilke.com or email me at hello@amandabeilke.com. I personally respond to each of you. And if you want more accountability and more support, go down to Jumpstart Your Life below. and join us and grab that Wheel of Life tool if you want that as well to support you as you go on your journey. Enjoy your day.